Memorial Day. You know, it's weird how there's sometimes, people say Happy Memorial Day. It's not a celebration. It's a time to remember those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice to serve. Even just think about the word serve. You're serving a country. You're serving the people. You're serving the laws, the legislation, the freedoms. And you're protecting all those things at the same time. There's some days you put the uniform on and you at least me, you question, would they do the same for you? The same country you're protecting, are they protecting you, your race, your rights, your freedoms, your kids? All based on the fact that your skin don't look like those that wrote the Declaration of Independence and enslaved us and all those things. Those things weigh heavy on, I would say, a lot of black soldiers' minds. And soldiers of other ethnic backgrounds, minority backgrounds, I'm pretty sure they have some similar thoughts and feelings. And I've even had conversations where I debated with people about the reason as to why. For majorities, why do we serve a country that we good and well know there are a good majority of its constituents that don't really give two fucks about us? But we do it. We do it because we have to change our family tree in some dynamic, somehow, some way. Most of us coming from situations in which we have nothing. It's either college, hooping, rapping, or selling dope. So we gotta find a way. I found my way. I joined the Army on July 7, 1999. I've had 2 divorces. No remorse. I have some regret. I have some wish I didn't. Wish I should have, would have. Can I get that moment back? But no remorse. Today I sit and I think as I'm walking back from Starbucks, getting some coffee, I walk back and I think about my career as like a blip of a moment, just 21 years. And I started dissecting that 21 years. And I've even had people tell me, bro, why do you rep the infantry so hard? You was 42 Alpha, which is human resources, for 11 years, and then the 10 years you was only infantry. So technically you're more 42 than you are infantry. And I say bullshit. My heart and soul was never into the human resources aspect of my career. I did it. I saluted the flag every morning, knowing that once I saluted that flag and did some PT, I was mentally not there. It just wasn't my cup of tea. All the paperwork, all the systems, the computers, not really being able to lead soldiers the way I wanted to. Get down and dirty. I hated the fact that most human resource folks, they ran from any type of training, range, PT, anything that required you to physically get your hands dirty and your body beat up a little bit. So those were the strengths of me, not as a soldier. Those were the strengths of me, the things that I really enjoyed doing. So I leaned on that. As I watched other soldiers that I came into the Army with get promoted and just, and my career was, now some of that was my own doing. I'm not here to say that they did something I didn't do. I did a lot of things they didn't do, but I did some of those things wrong. So I'm good with that. I'm cool with that. But as I'm walking back, I'm thinking about coming off recruiting duty, going to Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, going back to the infantry after recruiting duty. That was scary because I hadn't done infantry skilled stuff in 3 years, stuff behind a desk, getting a barrage of abuse from station commanders and just that whole culture of putting people in the Army during the time of war. Everybody's tensions were high, right? So leadership wasn't at the utmost out there. It was pretty bad. The lack of leadership, I should say. You got soldiers coming back from war where they've put everything on the line, blood, sweat, and tears, watching people die. I used to go to sleep in the back of the Bradley because I told myself, if it blows up, I don't want to feel shit. That's how bad it was. I survived. All 9 of my guys came home. Physically. Mentally, some of them probably still downrange. So coming back from recruiting duty, going to Schofield, you show up out there squeaky clean with your uniform pressed and this and that because that's the appearance you used to having on recruiting duty. Then you get out there, you got some people that just don't give two shits about the uniform. It's all about downrange, let's go. So while at reception, I sprained and damaged my ACL or MCL in my right knee. Playing basketball, hooping. I get to the unit, shit just wasn't right. And I told them, look, I don't want to be a squad follower. I'm a squad leader. I need to go get this thing checked out before I go any further. So I went and the doctor told me, hey, yeah, you jacked your knee up pretty good. What else is bothering you? I don't know what made him ask this question. I still remember this question. Because most of the time, as you know, being in the Army, the doctor may ask you what's wrong with you, your chief complaint, but they gonna fix that and send you back on your way. Return to duty, man. Get up out of here. Here's some Motrin, drink some water. 14 days, you good. But for some reason, this doctor asked me, what else is bothering you? And I told him, man, my right knee, my right ankle, right hip, back. And he was like, man, take your shoes off. So I took my shoes off. Long story short, I had collapsed arches. My right one being worse than the left. So he said, this is why right here. I've never seen feet this flat. Your arches have fallen. Your arches are shock absorption for your body. You walking around with absolutely no shocks on your car, rucking, running, jumping. And that's sending a chain reaction up your body, which is why your knee, your hip, your back, everything hurts. Because there's nothing there to absorb that shock. So he said, look, man, you can gut this thing out, or you can get surgery to fix it. He said, I recommend surgery because you only have 2 feet. The Army is going to always be here. Your longevity for your life, being able to be active with your kids and blah, 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 you need this surgery. So that's my recommendation. Go back to your unit, da, 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 da. So the first sergeant, me and him built somewhat of a relationship coming off recruiting duty because I was a hard charge, man. I was hard as woodpecker lips. Came off recruiting duty after 3 years of not doing any type of infantry skills and earned my EIB, Expert Infantry Badge. And if you know how hard that badge is to earn, not doing those skills for 3 years and then coming out and telling yourself this is the year to do it and you do it. And I also pushed 6 or 7 of the guys that I was in charge of to get through the training to obtain their EIB as well. So the first sergeant was like, man, you're the best squad leader in the company by far. By far. Best one I got. I decided to get surgery and just like that, I was gone. I'm like, damn. What'd I do? He was like, man, we can't use you. Go find you a job, pack your stuff. Tomorrow morning, report to battalion and go find you a job. because they were prepping to go downrange, NTC. And so because I elected to get surgery, they put me on rear detachment, which is where all the people that's not deploying go to this detachment to do bullshit. Cut grass, pick leaves, all that bullshit, right? So from hero to zero in one decision of saying, I'm going to stay back and elect to get surgery to fix myself. And then this is where the remorse comes in for Memorial Day. As a squad leader, man, there's some people in your squad that you just click with, and there's some people that's like, okay, outside of work, I ain't fucking with you. Michael Anaya, one of the goofiest damn soldiers I've ever met in my life, but the dude kept everybody laughing. There's never a dull moment around this kid. I was weapons squad leader, he was one of my team leaders. Because I elected to get surgery, I didn't go downrange. Not 100% sure of the day, but on one day I remember getting the notice from rear detachment. You know, everything comes down the wire. My platoon, my squad was hit with an IED. The person that took my spot, Justin Minnesal, he ended up being the weapons squad leader. Young soldier, man. I mean, this dude, you never look at him and be like, yeah, no. But that guy, man, when you put a ruck on his back, gear in his hand, was one of the best soldiers out. But just so laid back with it too, just laid back, cocky, right? He didn't want you to know. He didn't care for everybody. He went out, got his Ranger tab, and was on to do a lot of high speed shit. But they got hit with the IED. Alex Morocco was a very young soldier, PFC. Lost all 4 limbs in that blast. Due to the extent of his injuries, they get on the medevac helicopter, get medevac. Anaya wasn't really a concern for the medics because all the attention was on Morocco and trying to save and salvage what was left of him. And if you've ever been on a Black Hawk, it'll put you to sleep. Just after a while, that white noise of the just puts you to sleep. They thought Anaya was asleep. Anaya passed away on the helicopter, bled out under his gear. There was probably blood all over the bottom of the helicopter anyway, so nobody was really paying attention to the blood and the source of where it was probably coming from. This is all going on in my head. So, Anaya passed away. Morocco lost all 4 limbs and was the Army's first quadra amputee survivor. And is still doing well today. My remorse, something I never really talked about. This is the first time I ever really talked about this. My remorse is the fact that I should have been there. Who's to say if I would even be here today if I was there? If I didn't elect to get that surgery to better my life, my health, I don't know if I'd be here. So I live with that. Just like DUI people that kill a bunch of people in an accident, they survive. They live with that guilt. As trivial as it may sound and as bad as it may sound, people that are supposed to be the victims of a drive-by that survive and all their buddies around them die, they live with that. I've done a lot and been through a lot in my life. And there isn't a lot of things that I hold on to. I let a lot of shit go. I let stuff go that I probably should hold on to. So as we, I don't even want to say celebrate, as we recognize Memorial Day, just understand the fact that there are some people around you going through some shit that you'll never understand. Even if you ask, they're not going to fucking tell you. Because when they tell you, they're opening up all that shit again. They're opening it up all again. And that's hard. Because I remember getting this house built. Right now, I'm sitting in my office surrounded by plants and cameras. I remember getting this house built, and I remember talking with it about the process to my brother. Because I'm 100%. And we were getting the house built, and I'll tell you, yeah, man, it's tax-free, and I don't pay any property taxes, and kids go to school for free, and register the vehicles for free, and he was like, for what? I was like, man, because I'm 100%, man. Damn, bro. You get all that from just being a little throwed off? I couldn't get off the phone fast enough, man. That hit me in my core. And to this day, he still doesn't even know that that is with me. He probably don't remember saying this shit. But I can't forget it. Because I'm already remorseful that I'm even here. There's so many soldiers that did not make it home. And to be a survivor of one deployment and potentially a survivor of another deployment that I missed due to getting surgery. That's a lot of remorse. That's a lot of remorse. That's a lot to deal with, a lot to unpack, and a lot to... So I personally, I know there's some wolfhounds that will die for the wolfhounds. That will, I mean, every time they do any type of gathering, you got people flying back to Schofield to don the black and gold. This unit was so, almost, it was like a fraternity. And because I didn't deploy, I didn't feel like I was part of that fraternity. So I don't don and rep the wolfhounds the way others do. And that's out of respect, because I did not deploy with them. I didn't go through what they went through. I was just back to hear about it. Then I saw a major being killed. Suicide, they say, but I got my own about that. So I live with a lot of that, man. And to have people slight that or have people not understand that. So I don't feel like I can go back to being one of those guys to rep the black and gold of the Wolfhounds 227. I can't. I feel like it would be slapping all them in the face that did go downrange and put themselves through that. This unit was so like close. And a lot of the shit that we did was borderline hazing, and it still would be today hazing, 100%. We put on the black and gold shirt to go for a regimental run. Behind every formation, there was a guy, a fallout guy. He collected your dog tags. If you fell out, you had to hand him your dog tags. At the end of the run, he had, looked like damn Mardi Gras beads worth of dog tags. He turned all those in to the Sergeant Major. The Sergeant Major would call each one of those people up to battalion. And for the rest of that day, you were on Sergeant Major duty, no matter your rank. He didn't give a damn. That's how bad it was if you fell out of a run. Another thing they used to do is you had to earn your black and gold t-shirt. You go on a PT run with the first sergeant or the sergeant major. or the platoon sergeant, whoever, and it's a run. Easy 6-minute mile pace, 7-minute mile pace. You're moving. If you make it, you get your black and gold shirt. You fall out, back in the day, I think it was the gray t-shirt, the Army gray shirt. You had to keep your gray shirt. So if you still had your gray shirt on, people knew you couldn't make it. You didn't make the run. There was another instance where if you were on a run and you're wearing that black and gold shirt and you fall out and your ass is walking, somebody will tap you on your shoulder, tell you to take your shirt off and turn it inside out and walk your ass back to the quad. I'm not making this shit up. That's how tight we were. So to not go on that deployment, to have a soldier killed, to have another soldier suffer injuries that only God can pull somebody through, and still be here to tell the story, I have some remorse for that. There's not a lot of things in my life I have a lot of remorse for. But that's one of those things that I don't think I'll ever lose. It'll never leave. So as we recognize Memorial Day, recognize the fact there's a lot of people around you right now going through some shit that you will never understand. And be perfectly okay with that. Be perfectly okay with not asking them how they feel, what they're going through. Because a lot of them, they don't want to talk about it. If they decide to open up their bag and talk to you about it, understand a lot of this is going to come out that you may not be ready for, but you asked. So be careful about what you asked for. Celebrate, recognize Memorial Day, have your cookouts, be safe, but also realize there are some walking wounded all around you. There's some survivors, there's some veterans. We blend in like everyday people. Here in El Paso, people already know that I'm most likely a Army veteran because I'm black, and not a lot of black people live here, unless Fort Bliss brought you here. So I can't really blend in like that, like some of the rest of you, but understand the fact that we are out here. We need support, we need love, but we're not gonna always ask for it. Peace.